Hi, this is Mike Martin from Casio. I'm going to show you something really quick on using the arpeggiator on the PX-5S as a controller track to modulate the filter on a sound. But I'm going to take that a step further and show you something else you can do to manipulate that controller track to customize the way that sound works. So here we go. I've got a basic sawtooth sound here on the PX-5S. And what I'm going to do next is go to the arpeggio. I'm going to hold down the arpeggio button and edit this arpeggio. I'm going to go to the parameters page, scroll down, and on the third page I'm going to set this control track to only. So what that means is the arpeggiator is not going to arpeggiate notes up and down the keyboard. It's only going to control a real-time control source. So the next parameter down, it says control type. I'm going to set that to controller number 74, which is my filter. So CC74, control track only. Now I'm going to go back up to the top and show you what's happening here. And to make it simple, I'm going to set this arpeggiator to 2 steps, 16th notes and 2 steps. And before I play something, I'm going to go to step edit. And on the right hand side of the screen you see control. So this is the value of that filter. So on step 1 I'm going to turn that up to, let's start at a value of 64, and then step 2 I'm going to set it at 0. So here's what we got. So just by manipulating the controller amount on each of the steps, so now we've got a simple pulsing pattern here with the arpeggiator. So the trick I wanted to show you is if you go back to the parameter page on the controller track, the groove parameter determines the length of the controller gate, basically. So if I set it all the way to the left 10%, we get a short blip of the filter. And as we open that up, so depending on what kind of effect you're looking for, you can find a nice sweet spot. So another thing you might want to do when you're playing with this, and this is really fun and easy to do, go to parameter and set your steps, and I'm going to set it to 8 steps. And I'm going to go back to the step editor here, and just using the step increment, decrement buttons to the left of the display, I can scroll through steps 1 through 8. And while doing so, I'm just manipulating knob 4, which is controlling the controller value. So very quickly, just sort of randomly turning the knob and moving through steps. So just get something real random. And now I've got. So it's a really cool way to get some wild and interesting animated parts. And again, that groove parameter controls how sort of staccato or legato the filter part is. So you have a lot of different options there, which, by the way, you can also set the controller track to smooth. And you hear it now ramping between those values rather than jumping to those values. So a lot of things going on there. I'm going to restore this back to just 2 steps in my arpeggiator pattern. I'm going to go back and edit my second step. I'm going to turn it down to 0. So I just have a simple pulsing pattern again. So one of the things you heard a moment ago is I had some delay on this sound, so a little tempo synced delay. Give it some more animation. Add in another sound, piano. Add in another sound, which is a pad. that's just a quick way to add some animation to your sounds. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I'll see you on the next video.